some quality time with Daddy.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Magnum Martel, and welcome back to another beautiful video here on my channel. And I don't talk too much about the educational system, or as I like to call it, the public indoctrination system. Mostly because I know that pretty much everybody knows that college is a waste of time. Sure, it can be helpful for getting a degree, which will get you a career in a certain field of study, but a lot of big businesses have slowly started pushing away from that because they've come to realize that the requirements don't make any sense, for starters, but second, that the system is just simply meant to push ideals on young people. Now, I hold a lot of opinions on college. In fact, I almost went to college if it wasn't for the fact that my own grandmother was rendered ill with dementia and I needed someone to take care of her because I didn't trust my own mother. I probably would have actually gone to college. But today's story is one from last week that I just haven't had the time to cover yet that I wanted to talk about, because this one really boils my britches. So here we have this little video that popped up on fucking TikTok of all places, because it's always fucking TikTok. Words cannot describe my hatred of TikTok. And I've been collecting videos to do one where I make fun of the stuff you see on there. And the video in question is one that I absolutely have to do a piece on. And it's this video where these two guys are sitting in a study area, which is designated for the college students of Arizona State University. So they're just sitting there studying, minding their own fucking business, when this woman comes up to them and starts, well, quite simply calling them fucking racists and saying that they don't belong there because no whites allowed, apparently. Let's take a look. And just a real quick note I'm adding here in post-production. I apologize for the quality of this video. I have tried to rip it off of fucking everywhere, and it never gives me the video, only the audio. It doesn't fucking seem to work with my software, so I had to go in and re-watch the entire thing and record over it. So, I'm sorry. This is how we're gonna have to do it, because fuck technology.
What did I do wrong?
You have a better...
You're offensive. Police lives matter?
You have the same sticker.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker of the other.
But this is our space.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. You just said we have to leave.
No, I said...
You're making the space uncomfortable. But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No.
No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
So anyways, this is the violence that ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with this shit.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time and you can find somebody to kick me out.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you have any consideration for people of color and our marginalized
So
issues.
clearly
Room
don't.
that I can go?
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
You know, I'm not racist. I'm just studying.
Oh, you're not.
You are racist. Your sticker is racist because police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black. Okay? No, you can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that shit, which means that you're racist.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to defend you guys.
I know, but this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us, right? So you're promoting our murderers. So please just don't do that.
Sticker affecting you negatively. They're just trying to do your
Thank you.
So why should that bother you?
Because, do you understand that Police Lives Matter was in response to Black Lives Matter?
I pay the same fucking tuition as you.
Yep.
Hold on, but
Yeah, that's fine, and you have everywhere. You have.
I'm working 60 hours a week while going to school because my parents don't just give me money.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Now, I have to give these boys some credit, because, in all fairness, totally honest, 100%, I would have stood up and I would have just fucking decked her. What this is, simply put, is racism. It is a black student walking up to two white students and bullying them, harassing them, telling them that they're not allowed to be there and that they should be segregated to another area because it's a multicultural space. Now, we know who this woman is, and I think you guys are going to get a kick out of this one. And it says a lot about what's going on here. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about this video in general. For starters, yes, white is a culture. White people have a very rich and deep history, just like black people and Hispanic people and Italian people and Jewish people and Asian people. Everybody, all across the fucking world, has some kind of history. I come from a family, personally, of men who literally invaded England for the sole purpose of wiping out a specific group of assholes just because they made him mad. You call that? You'd say that's not a rich history for white people? The Statue of Liberty was built by the French. The French are white. England, Scotland, Ireland, all places with great architecture. Guess who it was built by? White people. Vikings, people from the Netherlands, Scandinavia, places like that. They're as white as it gets. They have a massive fucking history to the point where there are entire fucking History Channel specials just about them. And you say white isn't a fucking culture. You're a racist. Plain and simple. This would be no different than me saying that black isn't a culture and ignoring all of the things that black people have done throughout the course of history. Throughout fucking the history of Africa, the history of America, the history of Europe, everywhere. As for the Police Lives Matter sticker, honestly, I don't really have an opinion on this one. On the one hand, I hate cops, but that's because pretty much every cop I've ever known, except for like 2, was an asshole, to me personally. But that's what you get when you live in a small town and the cops are assholes. And yes, Police Lives Matter was a response to Black Lives Matter. And you know what? I agree with it, because Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. A Marxist terrorist organization that burned down entire cities and got away with it. Simply put, I know I don't touch on these political subjects too often, but plain and simple, I don't agree with BLM as an organization. And it is an organization. It's not a movement, it's not an idea, it's an organization of fucking terrorists and racists. Now, the student in question has made a statement, and he just wants to be left alone, pretty much. He told his side of the story, and he wants it to just be over and done with, and I don't blame him for that. He doesn't want to be a martyr for this endless war we fight every fucking day, and I don't blame him. I respect his decision to just want it to be over with because he's working hard, he's going to school, he's just trying to get his life together. But now it's time to talk about who this woman was, because we know who she was. We absolutely have evidence of who she was. And we're going to take a look at a little article here. That racist chick from ASU who went viral yesterday, she wasn't an undergrad. She was a Ford Fellow. Now, I was confused for a moment about what that was. I've never heard of the Ford Foundation. But I did a little searching, and it wasn't hard to find. If you literally Google what is the Ford Foundation, you will get this description of them. The Ford Foundation Fellowships are designed to increase diversity in the nation's college and university facilities by increasing their ethnic and racial diversity, maximize the educational benefits of diversity, and increase the number of professors who can and will use diversity as a resource for enriching the education of all students. Predoctoral fellowships support and study toward the PhD or SCD. Dissertation fellowships offer support in the final year of writing the PhD or SCD thesis. Postdoctoral fellowships offer one-year awards to PhD recipients. Applicants must be United States citizens in research-based fields of study. So what this is, plain and simple, put in plain English, it's literally meant to put specifically lefty professors into positions of power at universities. So who is this woman in question, the Ford Fellow? Her name is Sierra Tecola. She's not just an 18-year-old college student, an undergrad. No. She's employed at this university. This woman is 30 fucking years old attacking 2 18-year-olds. And the cherry on top, she's an activist that supports Black Lives Matter and even had a GoFundMe for it. That's who she is. This is a woman that was literally handed an easy job at a university because she's a black activist. I'm not kidding. And these kinds of programs actually exist a lot, and colleges do actually discriminate in a lot of ways. Now I'm going to show you a little clip here from another YouTube creator. On one of his videos where he was talking about an episode of a certain TV show, you may have heard of it, it's called King of the Hill. And it's the episode Khan Gives Up. So take it away, Mr. Durag.
At the saxophone's place, Khan and Min are prematurely celebrating Connie getting into a summer university program.
Of course you're in. You have perfect grades, all the right extracurriculars, and you've wasted countless hours volunteering.
Here, put this on.
But later, Khan comes home and...
Regret? Not? Unfortunately? No!
It's all right, Dad. This summer I'll just study for fun.
Note Connie's reaction. It will be important later. Con goes down to the university to find out why his child, who is a perfect fit for the school, didn't get in.
Look, Connie's a really smart Asian girl, but I've got a boatload of them. She's not black, she's not Hispanic, or even white. I mean, good Lord, give me a white kid from a public school with Connie's specs, and that kid could waltz in here.
Now, to anyone who is shocked at this and is yelling at their screen,
That's discrimination!
I've got some bad news for you. This isn't as rare as you might think. Though you'll have a hard time getting confession like Con did, in many places, schools and companies are required to meet a quota when it comes to which ethnicity they let in to make sure things are balanced. See, it used to be that people could discriminate based on race. Then we went and made that illegal. But we realized that certain races still weren't doing as well as others as a whole, so we took it one step further, not realizing that by trying to end discrimination, we simply created another form of it. It's no longer about being the best of the best, it's about being the best of your kind. You know, equality versus equity and all that.
And yes, I'll admit it, I did rip that straight out of his video, but I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to not only that video, but his channel down in the description if you like commentary stuff focused on TV shows. Shady Do-Rags makes some good stuff. Highly recommend. But at any rate, as he puts it, that's basically what happened here. This girl was given free college money because she's an activist, and she's not the best of the best. She's the, quote, best of her kind, because affirmative action exists, and we discriminate against everybody, apparently, in the educational system. But the story doesn't even end there. ASU has responded, actually. The Dean of Students' office is aware of the disagreement between a handful of students that was captured in video circulated on social media. The Dean of Students' office will be discussing it with all involved. Translation, they're going to get her side of the story, and then they're going to ignore his side of the story. ASU is a community of more than 100,000 people from all 50 states and more than 150 countries. Differences of opinion are part of the university experience. The university expects respectful dialogue between students in all engagements. And I'm going to go ahead and say it right here and now. Plain and fucking simple. If this was a couple of white kids walking up to her, especially her, and saying that she doesn't belong in a certain space because of the color of her skin, those students would be fucking expelled and the entire internet and media would be in an uproar about racism. But because the students that were being bullied, plain and simple, that's what this was. This was a fucking bullying in action, are white. This university doesn't want to touch the subject with a 10-foot pole. And I'm proud of most people around the internet for realizing this bullshit happening right here and now. I'm glad to see that finally, after all these years of all this bullshit going on, more people have finally started going, you know what, no, that ain't fucking right. And to the two university students, I know you've already been through a lot, but if you would like to please reach out to me, I would very much appreciate it. I have a few questions I'd like to ask, a few things I'd like to understand better about the story, so that I can do a follow-up video on the subject. This is just fucking ridiculous. It's bullshit that this is not only being allowed, but it's being encouraged, plain and simple. It's still racism if it's against white people, regardless of what all the social justice assholes and liberals on the internet would like to say. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Jeremy over at The Quarter, and regardless of anyone's personal opinion on his videos and his work, he did go out of his way to get some more information from those two guys, and he did provide them with a free laptop and donate to a GoFundMe. So I gotta give him some credit. Him and his sponsor worked together to give these guys something since they've had to go through and endure this nonsense. And the story doesn't end there. GoFundMe deleted the fucking page to donate to these poor guys. I've got a screenshot here from the libs of TikTok over on Twitter, who is the original poster of the video of these two poor men being harassed by this racist BLM activist. Breaking, GoFundMe has removed my campaign to raise funds for the two hero students at ASU who were viciously attacked for being white. Dear GoFundMe customer, we are writing to inform you that your GoFundMe account has been removed due to a violation of our terms of service. Your content of your fundraiser falls under our prohibited conduct section. You can view our terms of service by following this link. Our terms of service, along with the strictly enforced policies from the payments industry, prohibit GoFundMe from allowing you to continue raising money for this fundraiser. Any donations made to your fundraiser that have not been withdrawn have been refunded and will be returned to your donors within 3 to 7 business days. Regards, GoFundMe team. They removed the campaign, simply put, because they don't want to be labeled as racist by BLM. There are people out there that vehemently deny the fact that white people, conservatives, anyone to the right, centrists like myself, are constantly under attack on the internet. There are people that deny that there is a political bias against certain people for certain reasons, but these same people will sit there and pretend that there's a bias against black people and Hispanic people and Asian people, etc., 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 that is exactly the same, but only against them, and that white people have privileges and are handed everything. The only thing I have to say to those people is to look at what's happening right here and now. 2 university students were attacked viciously by a racist black girl on college campus. 2 paying students who are paying their tuition, working 40 hours a week, and doing their classes were attacked by a girl who was handed free college money because of the color of her skin and that she's an activist for a terrorist organization. And the one thing people tried to do for these 2 poor, innocent guys that were unfairly discriminated against and harassed by this person was to try and give them some funding to help pay for their college that they're working hard to pay for because their parents and a special foundation didn't hand them money. Lo and fucking behold, it was taken down. But the one for this very activist is still up. It can still be donated to, and it's still there. Personally, ASU, you can go fuck yourself. And there's going to come a day when BLM comes in there and burns your fucking campus to the ground. And you know what? You're going to fucking deserve it for letting them get away with stuff like this. Because if you don't fight back now, they're going to walk all over you later. And you know what? Fuck you too, GoFundMe, for your obvious stance on the matter. Your attempt to look neutral is a crock of bullshit, and we can all see it. Won't be using your services ever again, neither. And most importantly, to you, Miss Sierra Tecola, go fuck yourself. You racist, sexist cunt. Someday you're gonna get what's coming to you, and I hope getting fired from your prestigious position is the first thing that happens. Because these 2 poor guys might not want us to. They might not want to go down as the martyrs against the culture war, but we need to make an example of scum like you, Sierra. I hope you're ready to lose everything. Because if anyone's getting canceled next, it's you. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this entire ASU student situation. And as always, I will see you in the next video.